Hey, welcome back to Mid-Card Mania. I'm Daniel.
Steven.
And yeah, hope you guys had a great Turkey Day. We're here, Black Friday. You know, Hogan actually has another word for Black Friday. I won't repeat it, but...
I think
too soon? Anyway, so guys, thank you for coming back. And yeah, tonight we'll be doing Wrestlemania 3. Yep. Of course, the match we're going to be covering, we had a couple special guest commentators, because Venturo's out of the building, or at least out of the booth on this one. Mary Hart and Bob Uecker, which I'm a big Bob Uecker fan. Not a lot, from Major League. That's it. Like, I don't watch baseball. But he's also in Major League, and I love him whenever he does his appearances here. But then, of course, it is the Hart Foundation and Dangerous Danny Davis with Jimmy Hart in their corner going up against the British Bulldogs and Tito Santana. Man, what was your initial thought? Like,
what was my initial thought?
Like, last week when I was like, you know, Steve, we're going to be doing this match. What was your initial thought?
My initial thought was, I wish we could do takes. Sucks, man. My initial thought was...
It's alright, no one's really watching, so you're fine.
You're a fucking liar. I don't keep track of the fucking comments. I bet you do. But anyways, my initial thought was it was a decent six-man tag match.
Yeah.
Of course...
I know you're a big fan of Hart and Dynamite Kid.
I'm a big fan of the Bulldogs and the Hart Foundation.
So there you go. So you mean, you were actually, you were okay at this match, right?
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
Well, it's not just because they're in the match.
Yeah.
It was a decent match.
Okay, all right. See, for me personally, as
you liked up the oiled up steroid freaks, right?
Well, I do. Oh, yeah, that goes without saying. But no, for me personally, I've always been a fan, especially when I was a kid, and we're talking like 80s, early 90s, of matches that would feature a non-wrestler in them. And once the Attitude Era came, forget about it. It was just like almost a weekly thing when you would have a non-wrestler compete. But see, back then it was real, and they portrayed it as such. Like, these guys were in there with these well-tuned athletes, and you just knew they were going to get their ass handed to them. Now, typically it was always a heel, whether if it was like Mr. Fuji, a manager, or Bobby Heenan, manager, or in this case, Danny Davis, a former ref, a disgraced ref, if you will. Now, granted, these guys, we know now, they all had, a career before they became manager, or, they had training before, but, as a kid, I don't know that. Like, my knowledge of wrestling when I was a child was literally just whatever WWF was showing me from, like, 85 and up. So, I didn't know Fuji was a wrestler.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
So, like, literally, and so, so here it is, Dana, he's a referee, and now he turned bad guy, and he's a wrestler. And I just always liked that, because, you hated him so much. You wanted to see them, like, there's actually two parts of it. Like, I hated them, and I want to see them get their ass handed to them. But the other part of me is just like, dude, that could be me. Because I always put myself in the ring, in my mind, but I knew I was a kid, like I would just get my ass raped, just repeatedly, right there in the middle of the ring. So I knew right off the bat, like if it was me in that ring, I'd get killed. And I was like, well, how's this guy going to survive it? Oh, he's not tagging in that much. Smart. I will do that, So, I don't know, whenever, especially these early matches, like I said, these, 80s, early 90s, whenever there's a non-wrestler competing, I always liked it. I always just, I found, like, those would be most fun to watch. So, Steve, let's quit yammering. Let's get into the actual match. Give us some build-up. What was the background of this match?
Let's see here. Danny Davis basically screwed over Tito Santana for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
Wasn't against
Savage?
Savage,
yeah. Savage.
It was against Savage. Then he went on to screw over the British Bulldogs out of the tag titles, which was a 2 out of 3 fall match. I think it was disqualification.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much that was the last fall of the match, and we all know how that goes. Titles don't change. But anyways, it built up to WrestleMania 3 and to into a 6-man tag match. And
I'm in a Rocco jammies. What are you nervous about? Like, seriously, this is how seriously I'm taking this.
You're fucking confident enough to wear that.
I pull it off. But no, you're right. Go ahead, continue. So they led to the 6-man tag match?
Yeah, you cut me off and I forgot what I was
going
to say.
It's alright.
But anyways, it was a decent 6-man tag match. It started out with Jesse Ventura coming in there, and I don't know, just getting a pop, I guess.
Well, I think the real reason, which just don't make sense, but I think he was just there to get Matilda out of the ring. Because they even mentioned, like, he's got Matilda, and it's like, they have people at ringside that do that. I think you're right. I think he was just honestly like, you know what, I'm Jesse the Body. I'm in front of 93,000. I'm going out there. That's all there. I believe that's all. You're probably right, man. He just probably wanted to go out there just because Jesse Ventura.
Get a cheap pop.
Exactly. So the match itself, it starts off very standard. Well, I guess I should say it's too standard, but a typical tag match between the Harts and the Bulldogs, with Tito tagging in every now and then. Dane Davis, on the other hand, would not tag in, and it's great because the few times he does tags in, he gets in there.
And he gets
fucking chest all puffed up, and he walks over there, he'll get a couple kicks in, and then he walks back out and
tags out.
And dude, it's brilliant because, dude, he gets so much heat. It's great, dude. The fan, I mean, this is 93,000 back when wrestling was real. Remember that. Dude, fans are booing their heads off. Fuck that guy. And dude, the look on Dane Davis' face is great. And then he does it like 2 or 3 times. And each time he comes in, same thing, man. He comes in there, chest all buffed up, I'm done. And then he walks in. And dude, it's the greatest thing. But he gets caught. Go ahead. Let's know what happened to Mr. Davis.
Once Mr. Davis gets caught, he pretty much gets the shit kicked out of him.
Oh, dude, it's
Davey Boy Smith just throws him from pillar to post, and there was a tombstone spot where he barely even has a grip on the guy. He just drops him on his head. And then he comes back with this evil fucking power slam. He screams at the top of his lungs and just dropped him. It was just, I thought that was my highlight of the match.
I mean, he was a bulldog for a second. He turned into a bulldog and just unleashed the beast. Yeah. Of course, at this point now, and throughout this part, because I mean, he gets his ass handed to him before the tombstone. The tombstone was the cherry on top. The power slam was the frosting on top of that cherry. I mean, literally at any point they probably could have made the pin, and they don't. Because I mean, let's face it, what do they want? They want revenge. But it would end up costing them, because after that power slam, that's when chaos breaks loose. All 6 men are in the ring at this point, and it's almost like like the old there's like a term for it, like one guy run in, then the guy intercept him, then the other guy come and intercept him. And so it's just that. But while this is all going on, Jimmy Hart gives the megaphone to Dane Davis.
And I think he wallops Davey Boy Smith
with it, and he falls right on top of him. And at that point, the funny thing is, I mean, this is where it lends to that realism. Because even the commentator's not sure what happened. Literally, the whole time, Uecker's like, I think he just fell, and like Monsoon has no backup for him. He's just like, he may have, until they saw the replay. He's like, oh look, that's what happened. But then he whops him with the megaphone, falls on top of him. 1, 2, 3, Hart Foundation, and Dane Davis win. And the great thing is, Dane Davis can barely walk after the match. When Jimmy Hart, when the mouth of the South, all like 103 pounds of him, is holding you up to get you out of the arena, that is the best sight in the world. And dude, he has a glazer look on his face, but he is hands in the air like he just won the main event. He's literally like, I just beat Hogan. That's what he looks like. He's just like, I just won the world title. I'm the greatest wrestler ever. And it's great because, dude, the whole time the Hart Foundation are right there cheering him on. They're walking back to the back. I don't think they would have made it better if they would have gone the little like motorized ring cart things. That would have made it even more epic. For whatever reason, he walks out not getting on it. But that would have made it even more epic. But either way, he walks, barely able to walk out. That's probably why they did it more than anything else. Just to kind of show Dane Davis like not be able to walk. But that's how the match ends. Steve, let me ask you a question. Give us your review. What did you think of this match? Give us your in-depth. Give us that Steven analysis.
Not a very good analysis, but I'm gonna try my best.
Either way,
it had some ups and downs in the match. Of course, Dynamite wasn't at his best because of the back injury. Davey Boy pretty much carried it for the Bulldogs, and Danny Davis tagged in when he felt it was appropriate. And once Davey Boy got a hold of him, that kind of ended. But of course, Hart Foundation and Danny Davis did win over Shady.
By hook or by crook.
That's right. And of course, Jesse Ventura took Matilda out of the arena.
After Matilda attacks Jimmy Hart. So.
After Matilda attacks Jimmy Hart, you're right.
All right.
Yeah, that's my analysis.
Tag me in. All right, so I'm going to jump in this thing. Like I said, I love this match. To me, it is entertaining. Now, I'm always especially hard on WrestleMania 3. I think it's the most overhyped pay-per-view out there. So in my opinion, in all honesty, it is a 2-match card. Now, with that said, I'm not saying that the other, 10 matches are garbage. It's far from the truth. But they're not memorable. And unfortunately, this is entertaining, but no one really talks about this match. Like, this is not a match people go back like, hey, remember the dangerous Danny Davis tag match? Oh, no one does that. No. And it's a little unfortunate because look at it this way. This is the second year that the Hart Foundation had performed at WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. And they finally got their first WrestleMania win. That's a WrestleMania moment, no matter how you look at it. And once again, it was entertaining. That's the main thing I take away from this match. It's funny, you mentioned that, David Boy Smith pretty much carried the match. And that's true not just for Dynamite, but for Tito Santana. Like, he was not in it very much at all. Like, he would get in there, but then he'd tag out, and it's like, David Boy Smith's already been wrestling. What are you doing here? Tito was just like, I'm not that angry at Danny Davis. It was like a year ago he screwed me on that title. I let it go. That's Tito's MO for his entire WWF career. People would screw him over, and he would never really get revenge on him. No. Rick Martel. There it is. I'm going to say it. Rick Martel. So, but anyways, like I said, I enjoyed the match. Like I said, it's cool to see, the Hart Foundation and the Bulldogs in there. Like I said, even though Dynamite was not 100%, still a decent match.
I think if it was 100%, the match would have been 20 times better.
Yeah, probably would have been. But like I said, for what it was good. It was entertaining. So
it would have been bouncing all over the ring like a friggin' what do they call those pinballs?
Yeah.
If they would have let him.
Of course, they probably would have let him go to that wheelchair a little bit quicker. But either way, so Steve, we both gave our review. When you take it home?
Okay, this is Mid-Card Mania. My name is Steven. Read between the lines.
You probably want to thank him for watching, right?
Sorry. Thank you for watching Mid-Card Mania.
What should I do next week? Probably tune in?
Tune in, yeah.
But what we're doing next week?
We're doing, why are you being a dick? We're doing,
probably Starrcade or something, right? Doing Starrcade?
Starrcade.
Doing Starrcade. We're going to Starrcade.
Why did you make me do that?
We're going to check out, this is the first time we're going to be doing NWA on the show, though. So,
yeah.
Some old school wrestling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, can't wait. Can't wait to see what gym we pull out of that. I've been doing the NWA over on the main event for a little bit now. It's hit or miss. I'm not going to lie. Like, look, WWF, there could be some complaints, but for the most part, it's hits. At least for me. Now, it could be the fact that I'm a WWF guy. Always have been. But NWA, it's hit or miss. I'm not going to lie. It's a lot of misses early on. So I'm not really sure what they expect on this one. But, hey, we'll be here, right? All right, so go ahead and sign off, and we'll...
My name is Steven. Read between the lines.
I'm Daniel. So, guys, until next time.